know someone on Mousesports would probably say the same thing about Gob.
Which keeps that comparison alive. Mousesports being the Cloud9 of Europe there. Both IGLs heavily study up the opposition, as I'm sure most do on big tournaments. Maybe not on online matches like these, but given the stakes of this one, might have been quite a bit of research heading into it. So here we are, pistol round of Cobble. Gobby with the kit and 2 flashes. Everyone else on Mousesports going for the Kevlar. Also 4 Kevlars on HellRaisers, and it will be Stiko to have a smoke. He also must have bought that Tech 9, so Kucha's been made the raid boss. Dennis spotting players from the connector door. He'll fall back.
Yeah, important information to land, though, because now he realizes it's going to be the play. So he relocates to the van, gets the headshot. In fact, not even the headshot, just the chest shot onto Stiko. There's the headshot onto Angel. Very nicely done. Simple now pushing on in. But it has gone back and forth. The blocks are coming to fruition. Somehow Nex survives with 1 HP. I thought he's a dead man for sure. This does give a real chance for the CTs. The first headshot lands. It's a 1 versus 1. Nico's on 6 HP, but that's the headshot. And Oscar will be wrecked. Mousesports somehow win the round. I have no idea how that just happened. They had no right to, surely.
Yeah, there was really a series of nice shots hit by Mousesports where it seemed like HellRaisers was doing all the damage they needed to do. I mean, Nex getting away there with 1 HP in upper, and then Nico hitting 2 insane shots. Beautiful shots, but they, you know, that's just the talent they have. I mean,
yeah, maybe a little bit simple trying to take that shot to the player on balcony. I think that was Nex who ended up getting away because the Glock burst at that range just wasn't quite doing it. He switched back to automatic as the player kind of went behind the wall. But yeah, some good shooting from Mousesports. Going into this round now, HellRaisers looking for this mid-room control. They're sliding up the danger steps. Dennis, Stiko jumping over that smoke, trying to spot them. Nice flash from Dennis over the wall there to long A. Running out of bullets though, only 5. Gonna have to switch to that USP. But it looks like the rotators will have them covered, so everyone on Mousesports will live.
do we know who's calling on HellRaisers? Is it Angel?
I actually do not know.
I believe it is Angel.
It should be right, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so now it's just... Will we see any upgraded pistols? Just actually a couple, 3 Glocks. Always disheartening to have to Glock save on a map this big. Drop typically is the place you want to go, but it's also the place where you want to funnel your nades if you're a CT, so...
Yeah, it's the place where you want to go, but you're also most expected by the enemy.
Yeah.
I know that Kucha leads as well sometimes, so I'm not sure if maybe it's a 50-50, but that headshot's massive. The problem is that Angel has to run through the Molotov to claim the kill, and in doing so runs into the P90. Seconds spray down coming in, but Stiko will get the upper hand. Not able to get to that P90 because the smoke lands from Dennis, which is going to be kind of frustrating. But now Stiko will back away and allows Kucha to come in. Bomb has been dropped in a precarious position. Stiko going back in for seconds with the Glock. Surely has no hope at this frag, and he will drop. Speaking of which, Oscar moves into drop zone with the P250. And he's going to get round the back of the CTs. The issue is that they know exactly where the bomb is. They don't have to worry about this. And something I think Launders may have mentioned before about researching teams and being on point with that. Do you reckon it makes it a lot harder for Mousesports to research HellRaisers when they've got Stiko and Oscar who've literally just came into the roster? Like, how many games are they going to be able to realistically watch from this entire lineup in effect on Cobblestone?
Well, I think that kind of brings up another point, and that's that when you rely on playing with that kind of structure, that you can fall apart to a team that doesn't have much structure, and especially in this case, it's kind of just the exception where it's a team that's finding a new structure, building a new structure. HellRaisers in general have always played relatively loose though, and so that might be a stylistic issue for a team like Mousesports. The adaptive style has always been the great one, but this is a buy round and 2 picks opening up for Mousesports to shut down that A aggression. I think typically, like, it's weird because middle is over on the right side of the map for the terrorists, and if you can't push a team off of A, like off of aggressive A control, then you really have no chance in the round, and they're getting shut down early here.
Yeah, I think Nico actually found the first kill of the round. He shut down the one man that was lurking out at the long B platform just as Chris J peeking out long A hit his shot, continued to hit a shot, and Dennis peeking out, spraying down another 2. So the aggressive defense coming out at A from Mousesports, and it works flawlessly, and HellRaisers are back onto a round where They might put a couple upgraded pistols into maybe armor. Because, I mean, you don't really want to go too far below $2,000, even though you do have the max bonus coming in.
Yeah. They might consider opting in the future round. But yeah, like forward A control is kind of nice for CTs. It's also kind of like if you're a terrorist, when you know they're forward A, then that's where you want to find your for opening pick. Crochet. Not too worried about that here. But practically playing retake on the A side, I think anticipating a late B hit and already a player creeping into stables here from HellRaisers, so this might allow the bomb to go down. Actually, it's a little bit far back.
Just Chris was on the site for quite some time, but now the rotation coming in. There's the smoke. Angel lands the first shot. Simple playing aggressive with the P250. And he has heard this gunfight coming through the smoke, so it's all on Nico.
Okay.
He's the kind of guy you want in this position, but a 3-on-1? Fair enough, none of them have Kevlar. This is so rough for him to even attempt. This bomb will be planted, smoke lands, and just as you thought HellRaisers were struggling a tiny bit, it looks like they could steal around away from Mousesports.
Yeah, it was really nicely done. Simple. He was the first one to the stables, as Launders pointed out. He was the first one to work himself across the CT spawn, the A bomb site. He gets in behind those smokes, kills people coming out of the connector. But look at this. Nico coming through and hitting all of his shots. Of course, to the chest of Angel. Going to affect him as no one had armor, hitting the last man in the face. And Nico, despite the efforts of Simple, HellRaisers will not upset them. They still make it costly, and it's still 5-0.
I feel like that op shot from under heaven, that's not, that seemed like a pretty easy shot. Not one you want to miss. Maybe anticipated a wide peek there, or one from a different angle, but I didn't like that from Mousesports. Their setup on the rotates, someone threw a smoke into the door, or out the front of the door. That allowed Simple to get 2 kills. The first one with the P250 on the other side of the smoke. I don't know if it meant to go deeper, but it pretty much smoked themselves out of the door. And if they just challenged from that door, they probably would have been able to just kill everybody. We've seen so many times someone stand on that door and C's can't cross. So it might have been a misplay there, or a bad smoke.
It's gotta hurt for HellRaisers as well. After being in a 3 versus 1, Nico just roars in and picks himself up a 3-on-1. I feel like it's kind of misplay. Yeah, the AWP shot misses, but the positions maybe from HellRaisers were slightly off.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
That's tough. Like, they were kind of in a great position to trade if Angel could have peeked right away. But, I'm not sure.
Well, regardless,
maybe you just held that wall really tight, like, by Hell, and then had Angel holding a hard angle as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
It's one of those spur of the moment things, I guess, where you can beat yourself up and think, how didn't we get that 3-on-1? But you just got to get your head back in the game, and they're trying to in round 6, but as you can see, they've just been destroyed this round. 2 players left, Oscar and Kutcher. They do have the AWP in the hands of Oscar. Kutcher lands the shot onto Nex. He's going to be disappointed with that one, but Godby is there in the smoke to put down Kutcher. And Oscar with the AWP. All that remains with 23 seconds. Did he spot that player? I think it's a pretty good idea that the player comes across, lands the shot, but that pretty much is going to seal up this round. It will go the way of Mousesports. The question now is, can Oscar save that AWP? And it's not looking likely. There's a player coming up behind him.
Yeah, and this is going to be... I wonder if Mousesports are going to have the presence of mind to wait for time to run out. Yeah, so now they know exactly where he is. Time has run out. Is anyone coming in? Chris J's actually on the other side behind him. He's going to move in with the AWP, and he takes him down! No money for Oscar coming into this round. $500. The man's broke.
Can't even buy himself body armor. So,
nope.
Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do here.
Cry? I think that's a...
I would have just thwacked myself in the nuts real hard, and then just walked it off.
Call it timeout.
Yeah, you just got to reset, as Metuz mentioned. And eat that loss, but that is a pretty huge...
Like it's a bowl of Weetabix.
Yeah.
I will convert
Tastes
you
like
one day.
loss.
That's their slogan.
But yeah, that 3v1 where they that eco, it didn't actually cause them to save. I mean, they were ecoing, so they go into the next round by, and then they lose that anyway. So it's the bigger loss was just now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And as you can see, Oscar is well struggling with that scar, I suppose, with just a P250 and a flash. Here comes the push, though. And the 3 CT players are here on long. The Terrors could be walking into a horrendous trap. They've still got time with the bomb dropped around connector as well. They could just wrap around onto the B side. But Nico's picked up the first frag. He gets traded out. Will HellRaisers expect this double peak, though? I'm not too sure they will. They could walk back in, and that's going to be into Chris J's AWP. Simple, however, comes up from danger, connects one onto his own, but now Godfrey's going to catch Angel off guard. You can see 2 players from the Terrors totally caught unawares. We're not expecting that. That gives Mousesports the player advantage with 20 seconds. The bomb has to go to B. There is nowhere near enough time to re-rotate right now.
Oh my goodness, look at Nico leaving.
He has thought better of his decision, but it's going to be a 1v2 for now.
What a shot from Simple. Second op kill of the round. Bomb has been planted. Gob B and next, making the rotations over. 1 from the door, 1 coming out. Drop. Smoke goes down to the left side of the rectangle. A lot of this going to fall on Simple. Hits another shot. Is taken down by Next. Next knows where Kucher is, but Kucher will survive, finding a double of his own on this round. So HellRaisers finally breaking the streak and getting on the board here on the T side.
It's always tough doing analysis when you're like about to congratulate a team for their early to mid round, and then in the late round, like they just get completely caught off guard. You know, you almost never play 3 players towards A, and in that situation, it was the perfect call. HellRaisers were working that for up to 40 seconds. Mousesports traded out favorably, and then just a run back to B ended up getting the bomb down. And Nico was obviously called to move out of the site, so a good call tarnished by a bad one. And there's a round to the HellRaisers. So
Interesting as well here. Sorry, Launders. Interesting that Simple's gone for the AWP again, not Oscar. So maybe Oscar's
it'll
not
be
feeling
like a T-opper, CT-opper dynamic. I don't know.
I swear, I think like when you do have 2 good operas, it's like number 1 spawns, number 2 whoever's feeling it.
True, yeah. And Simple did land a couple of sick AWP shots in that last round as well. That may have been his done the world of good to his
body
confidence.
blocked.
Yeah, Angel just got wrecked. Dennis pushing aggressive.
Yeah, that was aggressive.
I understand the idea, maybe trying to catch Simple, but in dying, that's really hurt the rest of his team, because Mousesports now coming straight through, back onto the site. 3 players clumped up together. Flashes are there, but now Oscar's picked up himself an AWP, and this is almost worst case scenario for Mousesports. You've got 2 huge AWPers with the weapon in their hands. Bomb's been planted, 2-1-4 retake potential, but the fact that the economy's not great, and Nico's down to 14 means the save is coming in. So HellRaisers will get back-to-back rounds.
Yeah, I think this forward A defense is starting to get a bit readable. HellRaisers have had a lot of time to figure it out, and the last 2 rounds they've punished it. Well, I guess they didn't so much punish it on the last round, but like Launders said, a great call, and then followed by kind of a bad one cost them that round. Also some fantastic shooting by Simple, but on this one, HellRaisers knew exactly what they wanted to do. I mean, they start off the round by bringing down Chris J, who's been inflicting so much hurt to the chances of winning a round on HellRaisers.
Yeah, and Dennis, it does come down to a single play sometimes, and like Dennis getting that kill was great, and then chasing the second one made and then dying for it. I guess he might not have spotted the op. Maybe he thought, okay, this guy's gonna push all the way through, but having the information on that guy and then being like on the big flank essentially to A right away is huge, but then ended up dying. So you almost throw away, or you almost kind of make the kill that you got to make that round worthless. And apart from his teammates also not cleaning up the mess for him, that just really puts the round back in your hands when you're dead. And you think about the fact that you did die, but okay, that's an interesting place to stand with the auto. Ends up being really great.
I think he realized what flash they were going to throw, because it probably caught him last time, so he stands really close to the wall where that jump flash that goes through the windows won't blind him, and, well, hits a shot.
I really like that point that Launders raised before, and in a way, because of how that trade went, I actually feel that worked out worse for CTs. Like, if neither of those kills come up, Mousesports are probably in a better position. Yeah. Because then Dennis can hold mid and come up from behind and, like, catch HellRaisers as they move on and transition onto the site. So, I think that's a pretty solid point. Unfortunate for Chris J. It's still going to block the
nice
vision at least, yeah, to the doors. But Angel's going to pick off the frag. I think I expect that second play there behind Stables. Chris J could be instrumental in this round, but Angel peeks it. He's been done by that position too many times. And picks himself off the frag. 3-on-3, 23 seconds to play with, and God Beast has been picked off.
And Stico's just picked up the bomb. Simple and Oscar still hitting their shots, each of them with their own ops now. Double up on the T side is what it's come down to. Nico under the balcony. Quick flick over to Stico, but Oscar up on top of the van will take him down. So 3 in a row for the HellRaisers.
Yeah, they really need to hemorrhage the bleeding. They really need to on that round, actually, as they're saving. That's a big win for HellRaisers, who can still put together quite a half here. And again, they have an average of 10 round CT. You know, not with this lineup, but not necessarily a worse lineup, or not necessarily a better lineup either. So yeah, I love this Mac 10 because they know that it's most likely going to be a save.
The room brooms.
Yeah.
Hey. It's going to be a thing.
Angel as well, man. Like, I swear. Every time we see it on HellRaisers, Angel has picked it up.
Oh, Angel loves it.
Yeah.
I bet he does all the cleaning at the gaming house as well.
This time I can definitely forgive the super aggressive play from Mousesports. They kind of have to. They're on pistols. Like, they need the information. It's almost like a half throwaway round. And they have got a fairly decent start to this round. We're picking up 2 kills for HellRaisers. Even saving a weapon. Yeah, and that's the key thing. They do have the bomb right now. And they say they've got a weapon. They may think about just pulling
Nico's
back
got
and
armor
playing
too.
passive.
He could maybe win this.
Absolutely.
Well, it's 2
Look how
ops.
high he's holding this angle. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he actually got the kill too.
Unfortunate, though, that the bomb drops on the other side of the smoke. So Mousesports have to go for the aggression once more. Simple picks it up, make sure no one pushes behind him, and we'll be trekking away to A side. A lot of this comes down to Kutcher from here on out. If he can get a frag, this should be the round in the bag. If he'd have died there, though, things would have got really bad. And he has been picked off 1v1, and Nico does have the armor, but he's against the orb. All Simple has to do is connect 1 bullet, and that's it. Lights out. Misses the first one. Misses the second one. Oh, dear.
Oh man, super interesting round so far. Kutcher actually getting that frag was huge, but then Nico trading 1 for 1. Will he have the presence of mind to know that Simple is actually right here? And oh man, good positioning from him. Nico could have easily gone into upper, and Simple took a risk, but putting himself on site and then having Nico, or giving Nico the ability to close off the angles really quickly would have been like a death sentence almost if he missed another shot. So putting himself in a position that was a risk, but allowed him to take a shot that he basically could not miss. I think it was very smart from him.
I was worried for Simple there, though, dude. When he missed those 2 shots, I was like, oh my god. I'm not expecting a player of his caliber to miss either of those. Especially not the second one.
Yeah, and like Nico could have easily capitalized on the second one because he was exactly what he was hoping for. So,
I mean, Nico did hit him once, like, you know, the 1 for 25, 1 for 30, whatever, with the AK. Brought Simple down to 74, but Simple plays it well when it gets to the 1 versus 1. The double ops still present. Oscar watching along. Simple actually out in mid too. I think he's Molotov'd and maybe flashed in Angel to get into the mid room. Chris J connecting from danger. And Chris J going on to the other side. Oh, what a shot onto Kucher that one was. Gets Angel also as he tries to get up and avenge his fallen teammate. And Long A, it will hold. Chris J has been quite a force over there on Long A in this match.
oh, he's definitely aced from there too. If you remember that.
Do I remember that?
It wasn't on CEVO. It was.
He might just be doing it here. That's 3.
Nah,
Oh, God, B, come on.
the scumbag.
And Dennis as well.
But it is a clean sweep for Mousesports. That's going to do their economy the world of good. Allow them to build it back up again after they lost the previous 4 rounds.
I'm looking at HellRaisers actually broken, not able to buy. Actually, only on 2 people, and they will have to do it. I almost don't blame them. Actually, not. Oh, okay, three AKs as opposed to an op. Styko is smart enough not to buy a Galil. Is just going to keep the extra money in his pocket.
It's nice to see.
Yeah, we need to just boycott. I've been actually boycotting Galils. I don't know when Valve's going to notice, but
It is the worst gun ever.
What do you propose? Tech 9 nerf or Galil buff, though?
I think the Galil definitely
needs a
buff,
like slight.
I don't think that would be anything. There would be anything bad that would come from that.
Because again, it's still not a, 1 kill to the head with armor.
Yeah.
So
It's like
So,
if
yeah,
you
you
have the choice between getting Galil and armor and a Tech 9 armor full grenades, like Tech 9 wins every day.
every
Just
if
every
you
day.
know how to throw a
Yeah.
nade, yeah.
Yeah.
Because even if you didn't want to buy nades because you're going to go first for the entry, like even still, you probably would rather take the Tech 9 to go get an entry over the Galil, right?
Yeah, plus you can run faster.
Yeah, like that as well. And, you know, shoot really accurately while running. And one shot to the head.
Yeah.
Similar at range. Both not very good.
And I can tell like it would be really rough, I think, on people to like even people who are if you really hate how pistols are, I think it'd be really rough for them to find out that their
me.
pistols don't one shot anymore, you know? So I can understand why you wouldn't want to make that nerf even though it's totally appropriate. Oh, Chris actually comes in with the second kill there.
Yeah, so tough loss of the last round from HellRaisers. It really didn't work out with the 3 AKs and, of course, the upgraded pistols with some nades. This one is more or less the full eco. Some P250s on the scene for HellRaisers, but unfortunately only able to find Chris J after he got 2 kills and Simple last one up. Trying to do what he can, make a play, maybe get away with a gun. He finds Dennis, and looks like Simple will be playing this for the win. Hoping to, you know, use this time and force out some mistakes from Mousesports.
Nico with his 18th frag as well, by the way. Dude, he's on fire.
Yeah.
Really.
No, this is Cobble, not fire.
Round 14, 18 kills, huge.
And this is the thing as well, we kind of mentioned this, you know, building up into the game that Nex hasn't necessarily been getting the big digits, but when you've got Nico, who's just performing, Dennis has been playing well, Chris J's been landing up shots, he doesn't really need to be there. You know, if he gets a couple kills, a couple of assists, he's doing his job still.
I feel like if Nex is the kind of player who's just like, he doesn't need to be the star.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. But he can be.
If they need him to be, he's like Batman. He's Batman.
He's not the star we what's the is it need right now?
Need
don't
and
deserve,
deserve,
but need
yeah.
or something, or don't need right now. I don't
No,
remember.
he's not the one we need. He's the
You've
one
just
we deserve.
butchered that quote.
Tell me, Metuz. Tell me the quote.
He's not the star we need. He's the one we deserve.
That's the one.
Are you sure?
Well,
I thought they
don't
needed
say
him,
one.
but they didn't deserve him. Doesn't that make more sense? I don't know. Whatever.
He's not the one we deserve. He's the one we need. 20 frags.
Count them.
21.
21.
Yo, back to Sesame Street. We can just turn our cast into Count Dracula. A 1 a kill, a 2 a kill,
I'm lost.
a
What?
triple kill.
Yeah, Nico's name kind of looks like a vampire's name too somehow.
Yeah.
Nico.
There's a character to teach kids counting on Sesame Street called Count Dracula, and he just counts.
I think we're gonna see Oscar's gonna pull out the JW. I think
For
JW is going to drop with the sawed off over and over again.
what does a JW drop sound like? Does it like sound like wubs or bodies hitting the floor?
I see what you did there.
I don't.
That smoke, though.
Not really sure what I did there.
That was
to
a
be
tea
honest.
smoke as well.
I'm sure this isn't a
Oh,
one-way.
it's a smoke.
Yeah.
Look at this smoke though.
I like Oscar less now.
You like him less now? Is that what you said?
Using one-way smokes.
It wasn't even him.
Yeah, well, he's the one abusing it, isn't he?
Where is he? This is
Still is.
philosophical. If your teammate throws a smoke for you, are you the one who's using it?
Well, if you're the one setting up at the angle, yeah. Especially
I mean,
that
he
one.
He
like,
already
I-
threw the smoke though. Do you just put it to waste just because you have like the stance against?
Yeah, you're just making the
I mean,
most
who
of a
are
good
you without your
situation,
principles, you know?
right?
Yeah, but who are you without your smokes?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Also,
Who doesn't use
what's-
smokes?
like the stand-up thing about this game, other than the fact that Nico has just been an absolute animal, is the fact that HellRaisers, on their choice of map, just got 4 rounds on T side. I don't think I've casted them before. They've had a T side that's been that poor before. I was really.
Well, I mean, from what we see
sketchy.
with the stats that we have on the 3 maps, it is their CT side on Cobble that should maybe be a little bit more fearsome. But even with that, if they get the best of their, average, or if they hit their average and get 10, well, that's still only 14 rounds. So it's definitely going to be a tough second half for HellRaisers.
But as good as their CT side might be, if Nico is on this kind of form, he can just get like 2 or 3 kills by himself almost every round.
Yeah, when you have 20 kills on CT side, it's like, what does that mean for T side? And Nico is nothing short of aggressive too. He's gonna have a lot of fun. I think. I wouldn't even honestly. I feel like this is a recipe for a 40 bomb. 21, 11, 4.
Assuming they don't end it in 5 rounds.
If HellRaisers win a pistol, yeah.
I'm going to come back to predictions once this pistol's done, by the way.
You have to give me that
Yeah.
recipe, Launders. I wouldn't mind having it.
If
Yeah.
HellRaisers win the pistol, then I think that they can get like 10 rounds.
So you think this should be Mousesports map then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was reading chat. Get wrecked.
Yeah, the
Miss.
MLG reference.
That
Yeah,
reference to
MLG.
Sesame Street. You really know the MLG audience.
I love that too.
That is such a good comment. Sorry for the tangent. But we are into the pistol round right now. And look at Angel. No, the CZ runs out of bullets. Nico is adding a dash of Glock kill to this 40 bomb recipe for taste.
Fun.
Just for taste. Simples and KFC holding
Nico's
out.
one way.
Oh no. The Chicken Shack is on fire right now. Stiko moving in though. Oh, whoa, where's the aim? He forgot to bring it. And now it's just Oscar. No 1 versus 3.
Oh, he's going to take...
Oh, he could
That
have
would've been
stopped
huge.
Yeah, I thought he did stop
Oh,
it
it doesn't
first,
matter.
but
Still might
doesn't
be
matter
huge.
anyway. Nex is behind there. He has to peek out again, and Oscar lands the headshot. Oh my goodness.
Next
Oscar,
is
okay, so
waited
Oscar
for
was the one who
defuse.
packed the aim for this round, and we figured it out.
I really
Yo,
thought
Nex.
after he didn't stop that bomb plant, the round was the tease there.
Yeah, that second shot was wild. Yeah, Nex should have waited for the defuse. Like he should have waited for the tap at least. I think that was like his best play. I think. Well, Oscar could have pushed up, but he would have heard it. Maybe he doesn't have good cover by that wall, and you could just like angle out. Like if Oscar were to jump out a little bit, maybe you would be able to see him. So I'm not sure.
I think just call him Oscarish as well.
It's hard not to, considering
You're
we
such a
just
scrub.
cast Oscar-ish.
Can
but
you guys report me, please?
I'm not gonna lie. Like last game, I thought that was
He
Oscar.
thought Oscar-ish was Oscar. I knew it. I felt it. I didn't say anything, though. Didn't want to embarrass you.
But you just did.
Well, he pointed it out first. So I was off the hook.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't need you to rub it in though.
Sorry.
It was the assistant.
I love
threw
these
under the
guns
bus, I
tumbling down
guess.
the stairs on this map. It's my favorite part of Cobble now. Kill someone on the stairs, the gun just runs away from you.
Gotta enjoy the simple things, right?
Uh-huh.
The simple thing.
The
See what I
simple
did there?
things.
I see it.
Like the golden coil that Simple has.
Drop is terribly designed.
Agree. But that being said, I don't really have any better ideas for it, so
I like the verticality. I think it's interesting and stuff. Like I think a lot of map is interesting. Like Metuz said. Like I think it's cool having a different kind of map, but I just don't like big maps. I think it's always whoa.
you're telling me it's not the size that matters?
Pretty much, like literally saying that. I think it's hard to justify the size of a map. So
This will be a huge play if Angel clutches this. And he's got it as well! What a play!
Wow, what a
I
play,
heard
yeah.
Launders gasp there when he saw the player at mid but didn't take the frag. That was so smart.
yeah,
That was HellRaisers around.
he knew that the bomb hasn't rotated through, and that the person rotating through is not going to check the door. So that was an easier frag, as long as his teammate doesn't die first. So instead of giving them the option to go back to B, he made them come through the door and die. And yeah, that was super sick. Did Nico get any kills that round?
He got 1 on pistol, right? So he got 1 last round as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he got a deagle kill, I think.
Man,
Pause.
the Deagle in that previous series was on point from both Penta and who did they play?
Lounge Gaming.
Where's my brain? Lounge Gaming.
Gaming.
Thank you.
Innocent landed a couple of sick 1Ds. In particular, he landed some really nice shots. Who's it on Penta? Was it Tabson?
Tabson. I feel like
Yeah.
everyone hit a few.
I think Tabson
Tabson,
did
yeah,
as well.
Tabson definitely hit a lot.
I mean, Tabson's the pistol god in my mind, so I'm not too surprised it was Tabson.
Agreed. He's definitely top 3 for me. Pistolers. Right, there we go. Humpos. So, predictions. I forgot to ask. I'm so done. I think Launders said 16-10 or something, or...
Well, did HellRaisers win Pistol?
No. Yes. Sorry,
Yes.
I was just expecting to hear you ask
Oscar.
Mousesports.
Yeah, Oscar clutched it. So,
Yeah, that Oscar.
yeah, so I said
nuts.
HellRaisers 10 rounds.
So 16-10 for Launders. How about you, Joey?
I want to go 16. I'm going to say 16-14. I'm going to stick to the 10-round average. They can go from 10 rounds in the CT to get to 14, but Mousesports will close it out.
I'll say 16-12 Mousesports. I think HellRaisers will put up a fight, but Mousesports, their shot calling will shine through. This round is one of the best chances they're going to get, right?
Nico!
He's out too late.
He just didn't see him.
Yeah, the guy up
He
on the
was too
boost next to
focused.
tree, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunate.
Is Angel honestly going to get another one for this position? Oscar from KFC brings down Gob B. Dennis will wait, turn around. Kucher pushing him now. A flash out. Doesn't actually get the man up on the tree who was simple. 4 people still alive for HellRaisers. And it's just Chris J here on the T side. Money pretty much run out. And of course, not that big of a bonus early on into the half. So lose this, which they likely will. And they'll be faced with an eco. So HellRaisers having a fantastic start, winning the first rifle round here.
This is interesting to watch a player in this situation when they are the man with the bomb and, you know, they have a lot of people to face, but they kind of have a lot of information too. Picking the right site so far. Oh my goodness, not expecting to get peeked. Whoa! Psycho almost made that winnable. I guess not winnable, but he most likely been able to get the bomb down. Bomb was too good.
And whereas in the first half, we kind of discussed that Next didn't really need to do a great deal because Nico was going off, Dennis was landing for us, Chris J was there. I feel like Next now does need to step his game up a tiny bit if Mousesports want to start taking this a bit more comfortably. Because the fact he's on 5 frags and then God B's on 15, and Nico's on 23 at the top, like he's clearly starting to weigh down a tiny bit. So if Next can start to get some big picks and play as good as we know he's capable of doing, I think Mousesports should be definite favourites for this. Being said, it's an eco round for Mousesports. They do have a couple upgraded pistols here and there, including a Deagle. Godby did just get picked off alongside Dennis from Sneak Up. Oscar's picked up the frag onto Chris J. Bomb was dropped in mid. And this is pretty much as simple a round as HellRaisers would ask for. Oscar with another one, so it's all Nico with his Deagle. Rip.
Yeah, rip indeed. Let's see the money now.
Show me the money.
Good amount of padding for HellRaisers. Another buy up, and yeah, like Nex is definitely lagging behind at this point. Pretty hard. I mean, if he got, let's say, like, you know, 5 to 7 more kills, I think that's like a few rounds in total. But it obviously depends where those kills come from and how many in what round. But kills aren't the best metric for success, and oh, they're simple with a nice flash and pick.
Yeah, so starting them off strong again on another round here. Simple finds the opening pick. It's now 5v4 for the defense of HellRaisers. This will be marking what? This will be 5 in a row if they're able to take this round right now. Mousesports have situated themselves with some long A control, still trying to wait for some smokes. You can see Stiko looking in. 2 long A, now starting to back off. 3 on the A site, 2 over at B with Kucher watching the drop. Now Mousesports starting to spread back out.
By the way, Chris J threw that smoke on the site because he thought that that player there was going to jump out, and that's why he thought he could plant. But he knew he was on the site, but you know, 1v4 you kind of have to make a read and take a risk.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to kind of just hope for the best at sometimes. But another trade out there. Keeps HellRaisers a player advantage. That's Kutscher from the back of Chris J. Wasn't expecting that. Much better hold from HellRaisers again. And they are going to stamp out Mousesports. And that deficit now brought back to just 2. 5 rounds on the bounce. The HellRaisers round losses coming in. Mousesports can keep the buys up if they want to, if they're not looking for the AWP.
How many kills does Simple have on CT side? How do we find that out?
I'll give it to you in a second.
Kappa.
Maybe you, mate.
Just gotta ask nicely, you know. Kills on the CT side.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be slightly harder. I'll get it though.
Must be quite a few.
Yeah.
So pretty standard buy here for Mousesports. You see a lot of teams do this because round lost and they know they can afford next round. It's Tech9s with armor. Gives them, well, with 2 Deagles as well, and gives them a pretty good chance at picking up some frags, and maybe even in the round if they can maneuver themselves correctly. And then, of course, next round they'll be able to buy. And would you like to see maybe an AWP come in here for Mousesports? See if Chris J can get some opening picks? Because clearly, like, the rifle round's not really working out too well for them thus far.
Uh-oh. Psycho now in a tough spot. Oh, does find a frag. Each of these frags so important, though, as players across the site. If he doesn't get... Oh, Dennis sees him, and Psycho gets the second one for his efforts.
Bomb planted, though.
Yeah.
So not too bad. They're simple, though, with the AK-47. Leaves Nex on 1 HP. Oh, the team nade from Simple. How much is that going to cost them? Maybe nothing. No, it could cost them everything because Nexus landed the headshot. It's all down to him and Angel. And Angel misses his chance. Surely Nex can't pull this off. This would be so rough for HellRaisers, and they do clutch it. But my goodness, that nade. I wish I'd saw that from the Simple's perspective.
Yeah, I mean, that could have definitely made the difference there. He shouldn't have... Nex should not have been able to get that second kill. 1 HP, but, you know, Nex is the type of player to do that. Very good HSP overall. Only actually his... I think second kill in the half, so...
Correct. I got the data now.
Oh.
You were right with Nex. That was a second kill and a half. Simple, previous to that round, had 8 kills on the CT side so far.
And he got 3 kills that round.
And Oscar had 7, so quite a lot going on. Yeah, I can refresh here. And
Jeez, he's 11 kills in 5 rounds, 6 rounds.
Yeah, I thought he actually went from like bottom to top, so...
Yeah, it's
That's
been pretty
impressive.
crazy. The website's a little bit behind what we're seeing, so we can let it catch up, but we can definitely go back to that later on and look at just how many kills he's got here on the CT side. Clearly the better one for HellRaisers. I mean, I guess Mousesports as well. Only 4 rounds, 1 on the T side, but maybe as Dennis finds the opening pick, there can be a 5th and the 1st for Mousesports. They will bring down Oscar, but Stiko is still in a good kind of cheesy spot here. Nex finds one and drop as well. So now 5 versus 3, but here's Stiko. He will cut off Dennis. The bomb geared to go B. Chris J on the flank. Actually, sorry, rotation over. No one on the flank. Angel still watching a drop, and Stiko and Simple making the rotations in from the connector.
HellRaisers have rotated very, very quickly, though. Puts them in shape to maybe pull something off. The fact of the matter is that Mousesports are too good to let this one slip. And those 2 kills are huge. Going to put Stiko in a 1 versus 3. There's economies in place where he could potentially go for this. But there's 2 plays that could really do with him saving this weapon, and he hasn't done so. So Oscar and Kutcher, who are struggling a tiny bit for funds, this is going to be a force, but I feel like it's going to be a really sketchy one for HellRaisers.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of money to go around, but it's going to be relatively tight. I think the only thing they're lacking in is nades in terms of buying all the ones they want, but it's not too bad overall. Just one Falmus on the board for Kutcher, but he even has a smoke, so they've got enough smokes to delay. But that round was really great. Mousesports able to make the correct rotation over to B, and then I think also something to point out is that was like, I think their second round where they got the opening kill. The only other one was the pistol, which they almost won. They lost 3v1, and that was the round they won. So I think, you know, that's just a testament to how opening kills are by far the most important kills of a round when you have a team that knows how to play a map and play the advantages of being up a man.
Well, it's all even again, and of course a very big round for the HellRaisers. They are very, very broke, as you were talking about at the start of this one, having to buy up. They did manage to, I believe they saved that 1 weapon, right? Oh no, he was actually killed there at the end. So that does hurt, strain the economy even more. So a very big round for Mousesports. A chance to get closer to closing this out. Nico going to check the Enclave there at the end of B long with that Molotov. No one there. We can see Simple, though, up on the tree.
I think that's one of the only solid spots on B.
Yep. Agree. And, like, I guess KFC, right? It's not terrible.
Yeah, KFC is like, it's just all spammable. Whoa. Dennis.
What's going on right now? HellRaisers getting the frags. There's only 15 seconds left for Mousesports. They've left this one so late, and they're not getting any frags. This is huge for HellRaisers because you already mentioned their economy's bad, but maybe Dennis can put some serious pressure back on them again if he can pick up this third kill, and he has done just that. There's not enough time to clutch this round, but 3 kills from that position, not bad from Dennis. But what happened there for Mousesports? So walked into a trap.
Yeah, I think
It was just the tree
HellRaisers-
position, right? I mean, that's where Simple gets the 2 kills from.
No, but why did the time bleed out before they were able to execute? Like they just waited too long at long B, couldn't find a pick, and once they didn't find an opening pick, really weren't decisive enough to know what site to go to. I guess didn't have that information. Maybe we're relying on the lurk of Dennis, but he only got that information very late as well.
Yeah, and it was actually a heavier A defense that round, too. So even though they didn't have the information, B was actually the better bet, right? It was only Stico and Simple there. Maybe a player had slid over because I think they had 2, 1 in sight, 1 long, and 1 at the door. So maybe the player at the connected doors had slid over to B. And broken round for Mousesports now. HellRaisers looking to tie it up as it's 4-on-4. Oscar found a kill, but was traded out by Gob B.
So HellRaisers again playing this one quite passively, not looking for the aggression, not looking for the information so much, which has played into their favor quite a bit. Definitely one of the reasons why they're able to bring this one back to somewhat even. Not a great buy for Mousesports. Got B next with armor. And Nico with the drive-by headshot. He's been so eerily quiet on this half, but maybe that's going to ignite a fire under him and get him started once more. And Mousesports do have the 2-player advantage. Nico's on the site. He's been spotted, not able to convert that frag, but he's being encircled by terrorists. Nico's picked up yet another one, and it's all that man Simple. And he realizes very quickly there's no real hope for him. He's going to say, if you drown for Mousesports, that 1D, disgusting.
It just won them the round. Like Nico able to get a second frag of it.
Nice.
He went there. Yeah. He was able to get a kill off that, get a fall. Must be a couple players without armor here on Mousesports, so that was a very, very fruitful round to win, because now they're going to be going into the next round with so much extra money. It's as if they simply saved on top of their win. So, and will also be a 2-for-1, enormous. That might have been HellRaisers.
Ticket
I guess
home.
I don't want to say golden opportunity to win the game, because I think that at this point it's safe to say they're still in this. But I think that would have been more of a nail in the coffin than anything else.
Well, that would have flipped the game around on its head, right? Like HellRaisers winning that would have completely wrecked Mousesports. It would have been the 2-1 for them. It should have been.
They're force spying.
Could have been the other way around. And yeah, HellRaisers force spying right now. This could be
This
that
is so
questionable
risky.
decision.
I think that's I think that's just a bad decision.
I agree completely.
Yeah, because it's going to go to 14th, right? And they lose this, and then they don't have to play for.
I mean, they're giving Mousesports the opportunity to set up the 2-for-1 for the win.
Last round was not even a like 1 player remaining, it was like 3, and they won it on eco, so there's no chance of destroying their economy. So why would you force here?
Because you just got 1-digged and you want to deliver it back to them. That's why, Launders.
That is the tale of the.
You
the
know
dig,
why.
but,
Oh, you think your Deagle's good? Well, my name's Oscar, and I can buy Deagles too. Oh, a bit of a crossfire. Christe somehow living through all of that. No, and it's very, very close. It's going to come down to Dennis. 1 versus 2. AK versus 2 Deagles. Of course, it will only take 1 bullet from any of these guns to just close it out, assuming the aim is there. Nice pop flash coming over, but will slightly announce his presence. The bomb, of course, down in a pretty hard to deal with spot. Somehow Dennis coming away with that kill, realizing where he was, but from behind, it's Kucher closing the gap, and the force buy. Well, actually, I mean, it wins them the round, but their economy is still not going to be in a fantastic place. Mousesports is going to be able to put more into this round than HellRaisers will. But for HellRaisers' sake of possibly making the comeback and closing this out, I mean, if they didn't win that round, they were pretty much out of this game.
Oh, they gamble stacked A, and that was the 1 round that Mousesports took quickly, and they lost because they didn't go for information. That previous round when they went B, it took so long to go B and then executed. They've done that every single round apart from that last round, and just paid for it. Nico trading 1-for-1 on the entry and doesn't have any more info.
Yeah, Chris J very nearly landed that shot as well. It was pretty crazy. I was watching from his perspective. Like the reaction speed on this guy is simple from the statue.
Reaction J.
Pretty much. Complete a beast when he's on form. This is another solid round though from the CTs. They line up for next. I think he may have run out of bullets at the end. And now God B pushes in. He gets picked off looking for that second player.
What a round.
13-13. And Mousesports 4-sport in that round, so now they're almost broke. What a strange game this is.
4K from Simple. 27 frags now. Holding that site down. That's 2 rounds in a row. Mousesports go like extremely quickly, and every other round they had to work slowly. One of the things was that Mousesports haven't won that many rounds in this half, and a lot of the rounds they worked slowly didn't work out that well. So maybe they don't have a plan B. And there's something that Navi used to do a lot, and that was really bad of them. Is they would go really slowly, and then every like 5 rounds.
Oh my gosh! It's like our cameraman knew that was gonna happen. You saw him toggling X-ray right there.
Yeah.
To show that, you know, spamming what he can see, and then
Yeah, I thought my power was going out.
Yeah, I was checking my Ethernet cables that they were secure. Oscar just everybody shoot at me! Just standing out wide in the open, spotted from everywhere, and he misses those early shots. Doesn't look like it's going to cost them. It was a bit on, but Dennis will find one. It's gone to a 2 versus 2. Dennis still at 99 HP, planting the bomb with the Tech 9 and Kevlar. This has got closer than HellRaisers wanted it to. Who will be the first to 14?
Chris Day with the Glock and the hardest, farthest angle I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not going to say necessarily useless in that position, but the chance of getting anything done is so small.
I think that's a really nice way of saying useless.
Yeah, I think that was just a really peaceful way to call him useless.
By the way.
Useless position.
You should have just called him useless, Jay. You can say whatever you want as long as you put a J after it. He doesn't mind.
I mean, I guess if one of the HellRaisers players is low and he lands a shot, then...
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a Glock, right? It's not like, you know, he was just being an idiot or something. It's just like...
Of course.
Yeah.
It's the weapon. And where the two players were coming from, like, it stands to good reason to use that position as well, I would say.
Yeah, like he's gonna walk up the hill and then just be like 3 feet away with a Glock that's gonna get hard cleared, and it won't make too much of a difference. It was just kind of like, this is an even lower chance of losing around. They're probably gonna lose, or at least that frag in particular. But now HellRaisers have a lead first time in the game.
Yeah, and still only 6 rounds to anyone's T side here on Cobble. So the T-sided map is all CT between these two teams. Mousesports coming into this round with a full buy. All the nades they can want at their disposal. That flash not being effective. Oh, and the smoke actually going down to seal off the other room. So Simple and Kucher will both rotate over to the connector. Next jumping out gets one. Simple takes him out. There's a Nico for that trade. It brings down Simple. Kucher didn't quite follow him through. Stiko shuts down Nico on the other side as he worked his way into A. It remains a 3-on-3 with the health advantage heavily in favor of HellRaisers until Dennis hitting that shot, and then another one. Stiko missing that. He surely needs to get that kill. That could have been the deciding factor on this round. It's all up to Angel now in a 1 versus 3.
That was so awkward for Angel. Flashed over, tried to push through the smoke and got stuck on the door. I'm pretty sure that's what just happened, but he's got a Molotov in play. He can bank this off the wall, maybe do some damage, force the terrorists out into the open. Oh, he has to switch weapons. He ran out of bullets, and Chris J puts him down. Mousesports reclaim again. Oh my goodness, HellRaisers economy.
And that was
they have to force buy almost.
Yeah, this is pretty insane. That was, and you know, sometimes the most insane games are ones that are kind of riddled with errors and also gambles. And you know, even though like that round that was so important, and Mousesports ran up A really quickly, HellRaisers did gamble stack it completely, and it ended up being the right call. Now, that was a wildly important 2K from Dennis. That made the difference of it being a 2v2 to a 3v1. So can really put that round on him, and I think that makes up for their Mousesports lost ground so far in this half a little bit. I mean, if they only get 2 more rounds, which is all they really need, that's about all they will really ask for.
So
and
Chris
here in this
J,
round, huge favorites, but
back to his home over here at Long A, just on the T side now. Look at Oscar though. Is it such a good spot with this Nova? Doesn't get the one shot. Does finish it. And now they won't expect Stiko, so he's just going to let him run by. Perfectly done. Drops the bomb. And is it going to get all 3? No. Only finds 2. That would have been madness. HellRaisers on their broken round, on the defense. Once again, the Deagles are just coming out. 2 from Stiko. There's a 1 Deag from Angel.
Chris J hit his desk. I heard it. I heard it from North America.
Yeah, across the Atlantic. Nico now working in.
Chris is watching it though.
Where? Oh my god.
Nico hits the shot onto Simple, but the more difficult, I was going to say, the more difficult person to deal with is Kucher, who's just right underneath. We'll take him down, and HellRaisers get to 15, so all of our predictions are completely wrong here.
And just really good awareness from Kucher there on the watching upper. But man, Angel hits that 1D. Like, if he doesn't hit the 1D, 2v2 again. And Chris J, like, peeked right into him. Like, he had that shot. And just got obliterated. 100% he hit his desk. 100,000%.
Plot twist.
And it's so funny because Chris J has like the
nicest.
he has like the nicest, biggest smile ever all the time. And he's like so like passive, I think, as a person, but he's very passionate about CS. So
Chris J's a really nice guy for sure. But that would get me raging for sure. Like out of nowhere, Angel one tap, see you later. And now Mousesports have to eco. Well, not eco, sorry, completely wrong on that. Forced by, I should say, with it being the last round of the map potentially. And it's not a great one. It's going to be Tech9's. A scout is in play for Chris J. We know what he's capable of doing with this weapon. There's the flash that's going to completely blind Kucher, but he manages to escape before the rush down from Next. Angel's in good position to strike. Lands 2 shots, looking for more. There's his 3rd as well. And a 4th. He's on for his ace. Simple misses the first shot, but pulls out his Deagle. And HellRaisers somehow pull off the great escape. There were so many moments in that map where that could have just slipped away from them, but I don't even understand what just happened.
Yeah, I think can we say like safely, Simple was man of the match there on CT side. Yeah, because of that comeback, he did so much. I mean, it would have obviously been.
I mean, he had what, 11 kills in 6 rounds?
Yeah.
To start off that half.
I mean, yeah, he almost had as many kills as Nico at the end there.
That's the thing. Like, he didn't do too many hugely flashy plays, but he was consistently getting the frags, right? Like I say, he was consistently laying down the groundwork for the rest of his team.
Yeah.
Let's see, in the, oh, good lord. In the second half, Simple...
How much ADR?
Simple got, in the second half, 22 kills.
Was that 102? Okay.
Yeah, because right? For half one, Simple got 9 kills on the T side of the 4 rounds that they won, so not doing great. And then you flip it over, he gets 22, and then overall he ended up with the 31 kills. Nico with 32. So let's compare the CT side. So Mousesports, Nico pulls off 21 kills. So very, very similar halves for both of these guys. Nico just a little bit better. He got 11 kills on his T side, 21 on the CT. Simple with 9 on his T side, pulling off 22 on the CT. But of course, I mean, HellRaisers, right? That team versus team matchup, even though there wasn't a whole lot of data in it, it definitely showed that HellRaisers was going to be more comfortable on the CT side, and, well, boy, were they.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, there was definitely, I think, a point where you could say Mouse.
Some Juan Deag RNG.
No, not just that, but like in terms of maybe a couple of very key like decisions, I think, in their play where they...
When they switched from slow to fast.
They went slow to fast because they thought that it was going to be a full eco, but it was a force. And in those situations, it was like HellRaisers, like, how are you forcing right now? Like, and then they still win the round. So, and then Next didn't have a great game.
Yeah, he had like 3 kills when it was 9-4. I remember.
I think overall, the frags, like if you look at the frags,
he had 3 kills in the first half. Next,
yeah, having 12 kills though when your team has, I mean, they still had 11 before half though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's true.
Yeah, so like you look at the frags are still there for a win on both teams, obviously, but unfortunately, if no, I'm gonna say like the frags were actually just there, like pretty much Nico's picking up Nexus slack, and then we got pretty much 3 people around 20 kills. That's like a formula for a map win, but they couldn't do it.
He never really got going in rounds either. You look at those stats, he only had 1 2K. That was it. And when you compare it to the rest of his team, you got like 6 on God B, you got 7 on Dennis. That kind of just goes to show you that Nex wasn't feeling it on Cobblestone. Something clearly wasn't going his way. Now, on Mirage, I'd expect him to definitely perform a lot better. I'm hoping from Mousesports' perspective that he does. They'll be starting on the CT side, of course, so this is a chance to bounce back.
Yeah, and we'll be getting to Mirage in just a minute. I want to, of course, remind you guys about the LAN coming up November 6th to 8th, the CEVO MLG Pro League Season 8 Finals at the MLG.TV Arena in Columbus, Ohio, November 6th to 8th. You can still buy tickets for that, I believe, MLG.TV to find out more there. But really, just don't forget the stakes of this match, right? I mean, this could very well, when we look back after the season is wrapped up, be that deciding match that, you know, kept one of these teams out of third place. So it's very important. I mean, for HellRaisers to want to finish this off 2-0, but also for Mousesports to really fight and try their hardest here on the map they picked to kind of exploit HellRaisers' weakness and their recent like avoidance of Mirage. So it should be very interesting heading into map 2. We hope you'll join us here on MLG.TV/PlayCEVO. I'm Helium, with me Launders, and also Metuz for the triple casts. And we'll be back. Stay tuned.